the survivor of 2 assassination attempts, the inciter of a violent insurrection, convicted felon, is the next president of the United States of America. If you voted for the convicted felon, or the inciter of a violent insurrection, or perhaps the very annoying reality TV star, if you voted for him, share the video. Thanks. But what do I think about all this? Well, I am glad that Kamala did not win, and that's what I call her, Kamala. I can't imagine voting for her. Every time I've seen her speak, every time I've listened to her talk, I cringe on the inside. Well, sometimes on the outside. It's just really difficult. She doesn't seem honest. She seems like an idiot. And I could not imagine her being the leader of the most powerful nation in the world. Anywho, let me know what you think about that. Is anything going to change? A lot of people get excited about the next president of the United States, and they think, oh, this is the guy, this is the girl that's going to change my life. They're going to do everything. They're going to do all the things. In my experience, in my limited time on the earth, in my limited time as being a voter, not a whole lot has changed for my life personally. I mean, regardless of the president that's in office, not drastic changes happen in the 4-year period. Small changes, and I guess that could be the thing to be considered is it's the small, slow boil that eventually accumulates into something really big. And if these little changes that occur, you don't even notice them, that's what's dangerous about it. So I'm excited that we've got a president in there that shares at least some values and beliefs that I have, and I'm looking forward to seeing some of the work that he does in the future. Is there going to be violence and civil unrest? I really hope not. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I mean, I think there's going to be some civil unrest because anytime you have a controversial political race, there's going to be some civil unrest somewhere. I don't think it's going to be that big a deal. If you live in an urban area, perhaps, keep your head on a swivel and just be aware that, people might be a little bit upset that their candidate did not win. And then not just that their candidate didn't win, it's just people will take advantage of a crazy situation and jump on the crazy bandwagon and cause problems. As I mentioned in a previous video, just make sure that you're prepared. Especially if you live in an urban area, make sure you've got food for a couple weeks minimum, water, a safe supply of water, renewable supply, hopefully, but at least 2 weeks supply of water, if nothing else. Fuel for your vehicle, make sure it's topped off, make sure you got a little bit extra that you can take along with you so you can get away and get back potentially if you do have to leave your area. Again, don't freak out, I don't think anything crazy is going to happen, but these are just general good ideas to live your life by anyway. Just make sure that you've got these basics. Civil unrest or not, we need to be prepared because the more prepared we are as individuals, the less chaotic the world will become in situations like this. So make sure you've got at least a couple weeks of food, at least a couple weeks of water, or a renewable, steady, clean water supply available. Make sure your vehicle's well maintained in case you do need to leave your area for whatever reason. Make sure you're fit and healthy. Make sure that you take care of the odds and ends, the little things. It's the little things that matter sometimes, and just make sure you stay on top of it. If it needs doing, do it. Stock up on some medical supplies, bandages, all that stuff. Medications, if you are a person that takes medications, in my opinion, you should do your best to get off of those medications, but put that aside, put my opinions aside, make sure you're stocked up on those medications if you do require them. Training, make sure you brush up on your training a little bit. Your personal defense protection training and your medical training. Just brush up on it. If it's been a while since you've reviewed this stuff, since you've practiced, it'd be a good time to do that now. Again, I don't think anything's going to happen. Probably everything's going to be just fine, but just in case, it's a good idea. Dry fire training is excellent practice. You can do that in your apartment. Obviously, do it safely. Follow all the general gun safety principles and techniques, but you could do that in your apartment. You could do that anywhere. So dry fire techniques is something that I practice quite a bit, and it really does transfer quite well to the live range. So I would train up on that. So I'm not a political guy. I don't get caught up in politics. I cringe at the word politics. It's like the word insurance. Whenever someone says insurance, I just go, ugh. It's the same for politics. I don't let things like this consume my life. I don't let them take priority. I don't let them consume vast amounts of my time. I don't watch political debates for the most part. I'll catch the highlights and occasionally I'll pop in for a political debate, but it's rare because I have things to do. I have a life to live. I think that we shouldn't bury our heads in the sand and be oblivious to the things that are going on around us, especially when it concerns the leadership of our nation. But we need to make sure that we're focusing on what really, really matters, and that is our families first, our small communities second, because that's what we can really control. That's what we can have an effect on. We can have a huge effect on our kids. We can have a huge effect on our friends and our family and our small community around us. We can't have a ginormous effect on what happens in Washington, D.C. So I think that we need to spend a little less time debating and arguing about who the best political candidate is, or should be, or will be, and a little bit more time focusing on making sure that our families are squared away and building up a strong local community. So, for example, if a neighbor needs a hand with something, be there to help them out. Our neighbors in North Carolina, we live about 10-15 minutes from North Carolina, but about 2.5, 3 hours northeast of us, it was completely devastated by Hurricane Helene. The flood damage, the flash floods that hit that area, it is crazy. So what did we do? We did the right thing. We went up there and we helped out. Could we do more? Absolutely. But we at least showed the effort, went there to help out our neighbors. We lended a hand. Like yesterday we were up there, we were retrieving a trailer that was stuck up on top of this root ball, up on this pile of rubble. It's kind of hard to describe without a picture. Maybe we'll insert a picture, but this trailer was stuck up on top of this root ball of trees and just debris and vines, and then rubble all around it, and then just a rock field all the way around it, which probably used to be grass. I'm assuming it used to be people's lawns and homes and stuff that were just gone. And this little trailer's perched up on there, and the lady right across the street, right down the street, wanted her trailer back. So we spent a few hours getting that thing out of there. I finally got it back to her, and what turned out, it was a really cool story that a man was saved by this trailer. Apparently he got washed out of his home into this crazy flash flood. It was just insane, and clung to this trailer until the waters receded, and he was able to save his own life by hanging on to this trailer. So a really cool story that went along with that. We were mucking out barns, a horse barn. We rerouted a creek. There was a creek that was flowing through someone's pasture that didn't used to flow through someone's pasture, and we diverted it back to its original creek bed. And that was a really cool project. Cool to see that. Maybe we'll insert some clips of that. So yeah, help your neighbor. If your neighbor needs help, help them. Do the right thing. Care less about yourself than you do for others. Do more for other people than you do for yourself. I try to live my life by that. Do things that are selfish. My thoughts are on me and what I want and what I want to do. And whenever I get in a mindset like that, I always try to remember that it's more important to do more for others than you do for yourself. And I just think I think it's a happier way to live life. I think that you'll be more fulfilled at the end of the day if you spend it working towards the greater good, helping people around you, than you will wasting time screwing around for the benefit of yourself and only yourself. I don't have anything more to say about politics. Don't spend too much of your time worried about it. I am prayerful and hopeful that this President Trump, will do a better job in his next 4 years than the 4 years before him. Yeah. But only time will tell. I really do appreciate you guys watching. Leave lots of comments. Let me know what you think about all of this. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, all the clicking, all the things. Until next time, what's the worst that could happen? Let's go on 3.